The United States maintains about 800 military bases in 70 countries abroad. This is way outside the norm. Our geopolitical competitors don't even come close. Russia only has about 9 overseas bases. China has just 1. It costs an average of $10,000 to $40,000 more per year to station a single member of the military in Europe or Asia in zones without war than in the United States. Estimates for the total cost of our overseas military bases exceed $120 billion per year. Although rarely scrutinized by policymakers, this permanent overseas military presence incurs substantial costs and disadvantages. Here are 4 reasons we should bring the troops home. Number 1, they don't protect the homeland from direct attack. Keeping 80,000 troops in Europe and more than 150,000 in Asia doesn't actually protect the physical security of the United States. Instead, it protects other nations and tries to prevent conflict in distant regions. This role of global policemen doesn't add to U.S. security and may even subtract from it. Number 2, their deterrence effect is overrated. Some say bases make the world a more peaceful place by deterring aggression from bad actors. But the world is more peaceful these days for a lot of reasons that have nothing to do with overseas bases. And sometimes bases intended to deter aggression can backfire by creating fear in adversaries. Russia, for example, feels insecure as a result of the expansion of NATO and the stationing of U.S. troops in bases in Eastern Europe and right up to the Russian border in some cases. And this insecurity partly explains their aggressive military actions in Georgia and Ukraine. Similarly, North Korea is motivated to get nuclear weapons as a deterrent because the regime fears nearby U.S. military bases, provocative U.S. military exercises, and frequent references to regime change. Number 3, they risk entangling us in unnecessary wars. U.S. military bases often cause policymakers to urge American intervention wherever conflict might break out. But this risks entangling us in unnecessary foreign wars that are none of our business. If conflict breaks out over maritime or territorial disputes in the East and South China Sea, for example, the United States may be obligated to intervene against China to fulfill its security guarantee to Taiwan, Japan, or the Philippines. Getting into a war with China over some uninhabited rocks of no strategic importance to us is not in our interests. Number 4, technology has largely made them obsolete. It's true that bases enable rapid military response, but modern technology has significantly reduced the problems of travel times over long distances. U.S. forces can now deploy to virtually any region fast enough to be based right here in America. An armored brigade combat team, which includes almost 5,000 troops and lots of heavy equipment and vehicles, can get from Germany to Kuwait in about 18 days, only 4 days quicker than if it deployed directly from the United States. Long-range bombers can fly up to 9,000 miles in less than a day. After that, they can be refueled in the air, reducing the need to have in-place forces abroad. The bottom line is that America doesn't need a permanent global military presence to remain safe or prevent conflict. Troops should only be deployed overseas if there's a clear and present danger to U.S. security. It's time to bring them home.